Hey.
Now recording.
Oh, look at her this week with now recording. Suddenly she's here and just now recording. Wow. Just take my life. You know what? Just do it.
I had to.
Mm-hmm. Where was you last week when everything broke? Mm-hmm. Where was you when Foxy's computer died last week?
She was enjoying the pleasures of her coolness from the air conditioner that I forced her to turn off this week. So now I have to spend an extra hour editing the podcast. Jeez. Hello and welcome back to another unofficial Minecraft update podcast. This is episode 22 and Jessiie probably has absolutely no idea what I'm talking about when I say unofficial.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm assuming, Jessiie, you haven't listened to last week's podcast then?
I have not. I have not had the time.
Dear. This just won't do. This just won't do. Okay, well, we basically got a question at the end of the last one just to say that, guys, did you know about, like, Minecraft's terms and conditions and how they like using the logo and the name and stuff? And as much as we're sort of skirting on the edges of not being great having the Minecraft update podcast with Minecraft being the prominent word, I think we get away with it. And we've now sort of made a point to make sure we tell everybody it's very much unofficial. I put unofficial on the logo that goes on the streams and stuff. So it's all good. We're fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, okay then.
What could possibly go wrong? Exactly.
Wait a minute. Anytime you've said that in the past and it's been me and you, it's went really wrong.
No. But I'm here and I'm lucky. So, I mean.
Exactly. Very lucky. Yes, very lucky indeed. I watched your video where you raided my... haystack and you walked away with 3 of the needles, 3 out of 9. I'm like, there's 200 chunk boxes in there. You picked 3 of the good ones. Jeez, amazing.
I wonder if it had if there was any strategy at all to anything. I basically just went cross pillars. I looked where all the beams led, and I just picked ones that were by beams. That's all.
I think what I did was, because I wanted to space them out evenly in my mind, it was just like putting them in like the perfect places. So yeah, probably not the best thing on my part there, but not to worry. Anyway.
It was amazing. I was a fan.
Jeez. Oh my goodness. Apart from, running me dry of all my diamonds, Jessiie, is there anything else you've been up to this week?
Yeah, this week I was live streaming more, which was really nice. I just got to hang out with, the peeps as I did a bunch of digging because I am at this point convinced that I like to make my life harder. So my whole base plan basically changed. I have now dug out or exploded, whichever way you want to look at it. My underground base, by our skeleton and zombie spawners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you go back down there, you will not recognize it. I have made it into a giant lava crater.
Oh, great.
And I'm basically terraforming it and just making it this nice windy passage. It has nice hanging bridges. It's beautiful, but there was no need for it. I just decided one day that I was going to do it. So I've been spending a lot of time on that. Other than that, I had my anniversary this last week and I had Evie's 2nd birthday. Oh. So yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, it sounds it. It does sound like you've had a very busy week. I'm very much looking forward to going down to the skeleton spawner and falling into a pit of lava now. So thanks for that.
It's very safe.
Yeah,
it's very safe.
Yeah,
but it's controlled lava.
Okay, I'll find a way to fall into it.
Lava at the Netherrack mountain base. I'm just saying, didn't stop him from catching on fire there neither.
Oh, geez. What about you, Slack? What have you been up to?
Well, this week, it's been getting ahead on truly Bedrock content, and by getting ahead, I guess not really, considering I've cut down to 1 episode a week right now just to balance out that and life and everything else. Jen and I have been moving forward with all the lawyer stuff, with the immigration stuff and everything like that. And of course, a big chunk of my week has been setting up a server. I think both of y'all know what server it is related to as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Because this weekend, actually the same day that this podcast goes out or the day after?
Yeah.
The day after this, we're going to be having a chaos stream over on Twitch with the 3 of us here. We're going to have Foxy, Jessiie, and myself, and we're also going to have Jen involved in it as well. And the whole purpose of this chaos stream is for us to beat the game and for the viewers to stop us. Now, there's many ways that the viewers can attempt to stop us. There will be channel redemptions where people can use their points that they earn just by watching our streams to do things like summon in withers, throw all your items on the ground, summon creepers, and there'll be other ways to do it as well. Anytime somebody drops a sub, it might just spawn a random pack of zombies on you in diamond gear with a sword of like sharpness 10. It might just hurt just a little bit.
Rude.
And there's interactions with bits and just all kinds of ways. And that's where I've spent most of my week, is getting that server set up. As a matter of fact, I was kind of late to the podcast today. Thank God Jessiie said half an hour late because I was already 10 to 15 minutes late because I've been working on that just nonstop today. So thank you, Jessiie.
Sorry, the dog in the background there. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Toretto was just calling me out.
Yeah, he was. Hey, you, can you quit going over to the door and barking? And he has been bark central here lately.
Jeez.
But no, that's been the effect of my week, is mainly getting that server set up.
Wow. Okay.
I'm excited.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you say that the aim is to kill the Ender Dragon, but let's be honest. The aim for me, I think, is just going to be to make it away from spawn for 5 seconds.
Not going to happen. Remember, it's got some of your favorite redemptions on there. Don't you like the one where it yeets all your items on the ground and then puts you a lake of lava around you?
Yeah, I like that.
That's just
nice.
mean.
Yeah, sounds great. I can't wait.
Foxy's done this before. Is this your first one, Jessiie?
This is my first one. I've never done anything like this.
Well, just don't expect to make any sort of progression, and just expect that every time you think you're just about, managed to break a piece of wood from a tree, someone will throw out all of your stuff onto the floor, you'll lose it all, and then a pack of wild creepers will just explode you and everything you managed to do for the last 20 minutes. It's great. They are really good fun, to be fair. I mean, if you went into that seriously trying to kill the dragon, you've got no chance. You know, you'd just be really stressed out. But they're so funny. They just made me laugh. So, I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, me too. Oh, God.
Speaking of servers, Slack, a different type of server is what I've been doing all week rather than making YouTube videos or anything useful like that. I've been moving my websites around to different servers, and I've been working on a brand new website, not the MinecraftUpdate.com, but one that's separate from FoxyNoTail.com, but will be linked in a sense. And this is because on Bedrock Edition, player heads and avatars and stuff like that are very popular packs of mine, but the problem with them is because you can't get the skin file information in-game on Bedrock Edition, and you can't get the player names in-game on Bedrock Edition, that making those packs is totally manual process. So I decided to build a system that people can log into and just produce their own pack. So they can put as many different players from the player heads in there that they want, upload the skin files to, and it'll just spit out a pack. And they'll be able to check a box to say, add one player sleep to this, add death count to this, add an hours counter to this, add the avatars to this, and stuff like that. And it's also going to have a section to make custom skin packs as well that will just spit it out. And it'll save all that data, so you can just go back in later and edit it. I'm going to also add it in so you can just drop your whitelist file from your server in there. It'll just pre-populate all of the players for you. So literally all you got to do is drag all the skin files in there and off you go. So it's a big job. And one of the hardest things about it is that because it's uploading files to a server, I'm a bit worried about viruses and stuff like that, which is why I've created a brand new server for it. But I've also made it like a really secure login system. So you've got to register for the site. It's free, but you're going to have to like log in, validate your email address to prove you're not like some sort of bot or something. And then you get in and then you've got all the access. So yeah, big job, but I'm getting there.
Wow. That sounds amazing. But okay, I have to ask, why is that free? That sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
Make something like that free.
Well, I am toying with the idea of like making it free, like totally, but then adding in a bit where you go, okay, well, if you want to like store your skin packs on here so you could edit them at a later date, or if you want to like have more than like a couple of player heads packs or something like that, then there might be a paid tier for it or something like that. But I think if I make it paid, no one will use it, and it's just pointless like paying for a server for it to be there. So and I think it might come in useful in the future for other things and stuff that will require people to sort of a little bit more secure, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know about adding a paid tier to it, because that gets complicated as well, because Then you've got to have like a business PayPal account and verify that people are. It's just a nightmare. So, yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. If it's popular and people are enjoying it and it's starting to eat lots of data and bandwidth and it's costing me a fortune, then I might add a pay tier into it. But for now, I think I'll just make it free.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my week. That's literally all I've been doing this week. So I guess we should probably move on to the feedback, should we?
No, feedback. The fancy thing, the feedback.
Yeah. And we've had a reasonable amount of feedback this week. Still not many people using the feedback form. Got a few emails this week, and I have pulled a little bit out of the comments as well, and also off the new Discord, because we've got too many places now for people to leave feedback.
Are you still getting feedback from the old emails as well?
They all go to the same place. So,
okay.
Yeah. Right, anyway, starting with Mike. Mike says, oh dear, Jessie's having issues today. Last week it was me. And this week it's Jessie's PC's crashed. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. We'll be back in a moment after these short messages. I bet it hasn't crashed. I bet she's just like, I'm getting too hot.
She said it's too hot in here. I'm turning my air back on.
Oh, man.
I ain't worried about this rubbish podcast today, is what she said.
I love editing podcasts, Slack. It's great. It's a real good use of my Friday mornings. It just makes my day. When I wake up on a Friday, I'm like, oh yeah, I get to spend 4 hours editing a podcast today. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. So when you guys make it really easy for me, like this, it's just the best. Hey Jessie, I'm not complaining. How you doing?
I have absolutely no idea what just happened.
The PC got too hot because the air's off.
That must be it. The PC was like, oh yeah, Foxy doesn't want me to have the air on. We'll see. Did
your Audacity save a backup though? That's the question.
Yeah, it did.
Right, make sure you export that before you start a new one. Jeez. It's Slack's turn next. Then next week, Slack's PC's going to explode, and then then it's happened to all of us, and then we're all equal. You see,
that's so crazy because I don't think I have ever had my computer literally just crash in the middle of anything. So
I think this is
random.
Like good point for us to come up with a very good plan of the next person that causes some sort of audio issue or make it difficult during the podcast has to edit it.
Watchful.
So Jessie, well volunteered for this week. I look forward to receiving the finished files from you on Friday morning at 10 a.m. Appreciate that.
Yeah, if you wanted something decent, I would very much suggest not me.
Well, I don't mind personally. It's the listeners that we got to be concerned about. If they like it, then it's fine. We can just lower the bar a bit. Don't worry about it. So, Jessie, did you get any of that question before you died, or not?
No, oh. The last thing I heard, I asked you about why you didn't pay for it. You went into it and then gone. Oh. I think I remember saying, oh, that makes sense. And then everything stopped. And I was like, oh, well, all right then.
Fair dues. Well, we went into the question section. We asked the first one, which was Mike.
Wait, question or feedback?
Feedback, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've done it, Jessie.
I'm just going to say that's a whole podcast.
I told you there's no news this week. Mike says... I'll start this one again. I completely messed up reading it the first time, so I might as well start again. Hi, Foxy, and whoever made it this week, give or take Foxy randomly changing the times. Your podcast is the best part of my Monday, Australia time, so thank you very much. On your last podcast, you discussed the possible legal ramifications of using Minecraft in your podcast name. In my humble opinion, and usually wrong opinion, surely Mojang wouldn't have an issue with the podcast as you support the company, the game, and the developers. In the last podcast, you openly backed the company and developers when listeners questioned Mojang tweets and releases. You're also positive about the game, even with Bedrock gaps, and surely you're all just an advert to play this amazing game. Thanks for the expert level 99 entertainment and information. And my response to that was basically that I think there is an argument to say that we are generally more positive about the game than negative. And I think, you know, should Mojang decide they did want to sue us for using that name, I've probably already paid enough paying for the game multiple times to try and get out of the beta to like cover any of those costs. So no, I think
I was
we're
about
good.
to say when they front you that bill, you know.
Yeah, I sent them one back. Here's my invoice for all the copies of the game and all the time I spent not being able to play it. But no, in all honesty, I think there is some argument for that. But I think rather than just assuming that because I think it's a good idea to just make sure everybody knows that this isn't an official podcast and it is something very much of our own making that's not endorsed or supported by Mojang or Minecraft. So, and then I said, Slack, what do you think? And then we found out Jessiie was gone.
No, yeah.
So what does Slack think?
Actually, it was, what does Jessiie think? And then we looked at Discord and saw you were gone. You know, he's just trying to be nice about it. And I'm in agreement with it. He didn't have choice things to say after that point. But yeah, go ahead.
I think personally that it has very little to do with how much we support Minecraft or Mojang or anything like that. It's just having to cover their butts because it could be anyone. If we had a Minecraft specific, you know, podcast, but one of us was like very vehemently not a nice person or said some really controversial things, anyone could look that up and be like, oh, look, see, someone at Minecraft or somebody with Mojang thinks this when we have nothing to do with them. So I think it absolutely makes sense to distance ourselves from that in that aspect because, you know, we wouldn't want to get sued. But also, I never want anyone to think that, like, I am the voice
of
absolutely. What Minecraft thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, that very good points there. And the other point I sort of joked about last week, and I'll make a joke about it again, I guess, is that, I mean, technically, I am a Minecraft partner because I partnered for the marketplace. So, you know, I think that might help us, give us a little bit of an edge. Or maybe not.
Probably.
I doubt it. But
probably something, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we do promote Bedrock with Truly Bedrock. Come on. We do have some influence.
I think
let's be honest.
We are literally pretty much the only, and I don't want to make out anyone that else does a Bedrock SMP to be, you know, you don't count or anything like that. But I think I would feel that from what I know in the circles that I'm in, that Truly Bedrock is probably the loudest Bedrock SMP. So I think as a whole, like the involvement we have with the game, I think we're doing a lot of good, and I think we're raising a lot of awareness for it, and, you know, generating it and promoting it. So I think we're doing a good thing. But again, we can't rely on that to just go, well, we'll do what we want with the Minecraft name. So I never even thought for a second that anyone would consider this would be an official, you know, an official Minecraft podcast. But after they pointed that out last week, I was like, yeah, maybe. So
maybe just be a little careful. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Emerald Thunder, Jessiie.
Emerald Thunder says, I'm not angry that Birch Forest Fireflies and bundles will not be added in 1.19. And I know that it is a natural course of any software development that plans do change. However, I'm really disappointed that we're not getting the ambient feature that for me really made the wild update what it should have been. I've already loaded a lot of chunks around my base in my survival world, and I don't really see a need to go out looking for all this new stuff. I've already got a lot of projects to do in and around my base area. I do hope that they include the new nature features in a future update. Then I will most certainly be willing to prune a few chunks. What ambient features are they? Like, obviously, I didn't tune in to last week's episode. So what ambient features?
Well, they've binned off birch forests and fireflies, so I think that's basically what they were getting at there.
Okay, so I am of the opinion that they never guaranteed us birch forest. They said, look, we've been working on concept art, and concept art is concept art. If they said, okay, we've been working very hard at making these biomes something and it will be in the update, I could see people getting mad. But I am definitely of the opinion that this is so blown out of proportion. So for me, that whatever. The fireflies, I could see if that were a particle effect and getting annoyed that that's not there. But it wasn't it a entity?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, well, literally last week though, me and Foxy had talked about that. The easiest way to get around that is literally use the spore blossom and just, make a firefly nest.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? That makes sense. I don't know. I obviously respect everybody's opinions. And if you were really invested in these things, I'm sorry, that has to, kind of feel demotivating, feeling like something that you were looking forward to is binned. But at the end of the day, it's something that if they were ready for it, if it was fully developed, it would be here. It's not. So I'm just going to smile and take what I get.
Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, the birch forest, because I saw a lot of like noise on Twitter saying, oh, they never promised it. It was just concept art. But in that Minecraft like video that they put out, the questions and answers one, they did clearly state in that they just stopped development on it. So they obviously got somewhere down the line and then just decided they weren't going to do it anymore. And I think it's fair to say yeah. I think it's fair to say from watching Minecraft Live back again, I watched it back, I listened to it, and they were very much like saying that the wild update to them was two things. It was biome diversity and beautiful like stuff, and then they went to talk on about the birch forest and how they wanted to do this and they wanted to do that and wanted to do the other. And then it was like scary stuff and the deep dark. So it does feel like very much they've gone, the whole part of number one we've put in the bin. So I can understand people's frustrations at that, but I think it's really important to just know that the Minecraft Live stuff is hey, these are the things that we're excited about, that we're thinking about, but it's never a promise. It's no guarantees, and there are reasons why the change. It might be that the next update, 1.20, might be some sort of bountiful update or a beautiful update, or maybe they're going to go, do you know what? After that Minecraft live stream, where we announced we were going to do the birch forest, everyone was talking about what about all the other biomes from the other biome votes that we haven't done. So maybe they're going to have like a big old biomes of plenty update next time or something like that. Or, as I've been thinking about more and more recently, like a lot of people are pointing out that 1.19, it's took a year's worth of development, and realistically, they haven't done a great deal. And I have to agree to a certain extent. The mangrove biome, like, what's it got? It's got a new tree and a bit of mud. I mean, realistically, building a new tree in Minecraft, taking aside all of the like the planning and the research and the stuff like that, actually building it is a few days' work. Picking a color of wood is a few days' work. Making the trapdoors and the doors and everything is it's not a big job because it's just a copy and paste job to a certain extent. The frogs there's a lot of work gone into those with the animations and things like that. And obviously the deep dark stuff's really snowballed. So a lot of work has gone into this update. And if you look at all the background stuff going on with Bedrock Edition, there's had so many parity changes, engine changes, loads and loads of stuff that's not, they didn't announce it at Minecraft last year, but it's all happened this year. So they have been working, but I'm kind of thinking that they maybe went, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take half of the work and put it into this one and have a small update. And at the same time, we're going to start working on this new dimension so that when we announce it at 1.20 we're already halfway there, because if they are adding a new dimension, then that dimension's got to have stuff in it, and one block and one tree ain't going to cut it. So I think they're probably just trying to make life easy for them on the next run than focusing on this one too much. But we don't know, we'll find out. But I think it'll be quite exciting finding out what is going to be coming next, personally.
Yeah, I'd agree to that.
I agree. But I'll be honest, I didn't know nothing about the birch forest till literally somebody said they're canceled. I'm like, okay, good talk.
I think it did get very much
birch forest.
Really blown out of proportion, people getting upset about it.
But birch forest, ooh, yay.
Honestly,
yay.
It feels a lot like Mojang. They kind of got, I want to say, like, in over their head. I don't think they realized how big people thought all these things were. Like, at the time, like, looking back at the whole announcement thing, it seemed very much like the deep dark was supposed to just be like this, I don't know, little thing. It didn't seem like it was supposed to be a big deal. It was just a new mob, and that was the exciting bit. Like, okay, we get candles, we get this new mob. But they kind of went through it really quick. Like, there wasn't a lot of features. There were no like big ancient cities. It was just kind of like, ooh, this cool area, right?
Yeah.
And then people got really invested. And then they realized, okay, any feedback that they were getting, that this isn't enough. So then they just kind of kept digging themselves a hole with trying to make that area what everybody expected it to be. And then everything else kind of went by the wayside.
I almost wonder. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Yeah. No, that's just it. That's what it feels like to me, is they just kept digging, trying to meet expectations, not even like exceed expectations. They just keep trying to meet this big onslaught of people being like, we want this, and them just being like, oh man. And it's just kind of what it feels like. Everyone keeps saying, oh, it feels lazy, oh, it feels this, oh, it feels that. And I think that's the opposite. It feels very much like they just kept trying to make people happy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like something that was creative for them. It feels like this was created for, the loudest voices in the room.
Exactly. I was just going to say pretty much that. I think that this last couple of years, it's been really nice that they've been so open and feeding back to us and talking to us. But I think they're probably spending way too much time focusing on what the loudest voices are saying and making changes rather than sticking to their instincts and just putting out updates. Because yeah, if you do that and you don't please everybody, some people are going to complain, but people complain anyway. If you've got a player base of 100 million people, not everybody's going to be happy with every decision you make. So I think them to make the decisions and say, this is what we're doing, and then release that. And then, if they've got time later on to tweak it because it's broken or it doesn't quite work right, fair enough. But to keep taking this player feedback and changing it and adding this and changing that, it's just wasting their time, and it's obviously actually ended up resulting in much less. We're getting less. So
worrying about, somebody doesn't like my stuff. Quit worrying about your feelings. Just put out the content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So keep talking to us, because I like that. I like this feedback, but don't listen to us.
Well, not always.
No,
sometimes
I get what you mean, though.
Maybe every fourth Thursday of the month you can listen.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, every fourth Thursday.
Moving on, because we've been talking about this question for the last 20 minutes, and we've got a lot of talking to do. Yeah, I know. Right. Tyler Slack.
Tyler said, hey, just wanted to say that I feel your pain, Slack and Foxy, with your glasses getting dirty and or smudged right after you clean them. Great. You said something now. Notice my glasses are
I did the same.
I have worn glasses since I was 5-ish. Over a decade later, I got used to it. I just gave up on cleaning them. I really don't give up on cleaning them. It was just a joke.
Can you imagine that? I just like, I've given up on it, and you keep going back for another eye test because you're like, my eyes are so bad, and they're like, no, you just need to clean your glasses. Right. You're fine. It's like really misty all the time.
Everything's really blurry on the right. Well, have you considered there's a giant smudge of peanut butter on your glasses? Oh, I didn't even notice that. I had to quit cleaning them.
Jeez. NFan1990 says, I much prefer the YouTube stream because of what Slack said. It's you, the game, and your audience. There's none more of this ban action or stuff that stopped the actual stream. It's not just chest plates. It seemed to be an event. What?
Huh?
I think I might have copied and pasted and broken something here.
You've definitely broke something there. What the heck have you done?
It's Good not just chest plates. Where did that come from? Who's a... Oh, jeez.
That's a bug.
I'm going to delete that and just assume it wasn't there. Moving on, Rick Hunter.
Rick Hunter says, I completely agree with the Nether Roof segment. It would completely ruin the game for me personally. If anyone wants to build on it, all they have to do is make a super flat world and turn off mob spawning. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think, again, it's going to be massively divisive talking about the Nether Roof. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't care. So I just think it's one of those things. If you've got an opinion on it, you've got an opinion, but let's just be happy with what we do have rather than like spending so much time being irritated about what we don't have. So, yeah.
Good talk. Yeah. What is that, Grady Days? Is that how you say that?
Great Days, is it?
Great Days, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Oh, my bundles. Really? We're beating that dead horse again. Right. Anyways, been anticipating those for a new world experience. I've been curious as to why they haven't been added yet. Thank you for including the explanation as to why they haven't been added yet. Makes sense now. No. Bad phone. Bad. Mad.
Jessiie, if you weren't aware, again, in that the questions and answers video, they said that the reason they haven't added bundles yet is because Slack's phone keeps going off and it irritates them while they're trying to
that
work.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, they find it really distracting while they're trying to code bundles and Slack's phone just keeps going off, so they just go, I can't be bothered, forget it.
Yeah, I remember that with a spider spawning you one day. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's because they can't figure out how mobile players can look into the inventory and see what they are, because obviously with a mouse or a controller you can hover over it and see what they've got.
Yeah.
But on mobile, when you click it, it just spits it out all over the floor. So yeah, they got work to do there. Yet again, mobile players letting the side down. Jeez, what are you playing at? Get a controller.
Get a job.
Combar. Oh man, Combar gave us some really good feedback today that we're actually taking on board after I, made a fool out of myself replying to them in the Discord, but I'm not going to talk about that. If you want to see what happened there, join the Discord. The link's in the description below.
Here we go. It's a thunderstorm. Yep, good job. Yep.
Great. So we got phones, dogs, and now thunderstorm. Great. And Jessiie.
Yeah, every time thunder claps, the dogs are going to go ballistic now. Because,
you love making my day easy, don't you? Friday mornings. I look forward to them so much. It would be cool just to have a section of the podcast just dedicated to having things off the feedback page on the Minecraft website that you three think would be cool. Maybe even something like the dance breaks, lol. Now, I don't know what the dance breaks have got to do with that, but yeah, so what Combar's saying there is there's the feedback.minecraft.net where you can put all of your ideas that you want to be added into the game. You can post them on there and then people can vote for them. And that, believe it or not, is actually watched and read by Mojang. And sometimes they do take stuff that's in there and put it out. I really like the idea that we could take a couple of things out there, particularly on a slow news week like today. So we've all gone on today and we've picked one thing out each that we like the sound of, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So yeah, keep listening, folks. We're going to be there soon. And then now, before that, we're moving on to the very last piece of feedback.
From Auntie Dizzy. They say, Slack, I'm not talking to myself. I'm recording. Just saying. I'm so using this, SlackLizard. I firmly believe that at least 80% of people out and about mumbling as they walk aren't actually on call at all. Just saying. I agree. I think a lot more of us talk to ourselves than we think.
I know I do. I'm constantly doing it. Then looking around going, I wonder if anyone's just what. I walk the dog talking to myself, thinking about things, and I'm like, I really shouldn't be doing this, but I just do. But I'm recording, so it's all right.
Yeah. I think you're recording, so everything's fine. Yep. Yeah. Seems legit. Yeah. Would recommend.
Jeez, right. That is enough of the feedback for today. If you would like to leave us feedback, then please send us an email to news@theminecraftupdate.com, or if you go to our website, you can leave some feedback using our fancy feedback form. Just to bear in mind, it's not always going to be the case from now on if you're leaving comments below the YouTube video that will pull those in, because there's a million places where people leave us feedback now, and I'm really lazy. So yeah, email address, please, or the feedback form would be recommended. Thank you very much. And the emails are getting harder now because we're just getting so many emails from like podcast companies going, "Can we? Do you want to with your podcast and give us money?" Well, what? No, that's not feedback. So. Yeah, anyway, moving on to the news. It's news time, and we've got so much news, a whole plethora of news headlines to read to you both. I bet you're very excited, aren't you?
Definitely.
Oh,
most excited.
The most exciting news that we've got this week is Minecraft Java Snapshot 1.9 pre-release was released this week. That means, as we expected, we are just around the corner from a release of Minecraft 1.19. And in this pre-release was absolutely nothing of interest, pretty much. There's hardly anything in there at all. There's a very short change list, a whole bunch of bug fixes, though. But they have matched Parity with Bedrock Edition change we got a couple of weeks ago, which was making nether mobs spawn in light levels of up to 11 in the nether. And that includes Enderman skeletons with the skeletons and piglins, which does mean you got to do a whole lot more torch spam in the nether now if you want to stop things spawning, but it should make the nether actually dangerous like it's supposed to be. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I didn't know that they had changed that on Bedrock. When was...
Yeah.
I'm just
It's
not
been
paying attention, I
broke
guess.
Since 1.18, yeah. T-Man has had lots of complaints about that. I'm pretty sure he's been spearheading this that change.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
is that
Bedrock.
1.19 beta change, or was that the 1.18.31 change? I can't remember for Bedrock, but if it's not in already, it's coming very soon.
Yeah, it's broken. All I hear is dogs barking on the other side of the house. That's great.
Item interactions affect the skulk sensors on the start and finish now, which basically means if you start drawing your bow, it will send a signal to the skulk sensor when you start drawing it, and then when you let go, it will do it again. The same with eating, blowing the goat horns, and all sorts. So they've basically doubled up on when it will detect things with that. However, it won't detect any of those things while you're sneaking. But they've also added in or fixed a bug that's been a bug for a very long time that, according to King B's dogs, has been slipping through the clacks. It's been slipping through the clacks, Jesse. Been slipping through the cracks, which is that equipping armor should make a sound when you equip it. And they've now added all the sounds in again for equipping armor, and that will also trigger the skulk sensors, and it will also trigger them when you remove them as well. They've also added sounds for putting things like the skeleton heads on your head and the pumpkins as well. So, yeah, I thought it was a really nice change. I'd like to see that on Bedrock Edition. What do you guys think?
I thought we already had. I thought ours already made sounds.
Do they?
You know, it makes a sound when you equip them.
Yeah, it definitely makes a sound when you equip it.
What, even pumpkins and skeleton heads and elytra?
I know armor and stuff like that does. Like if you put your armor on your hotbar and just back and forth your elytra and things, it makes noise.
Oh, well, I just don't listen then. There we go. So I don't need that for Bedrock Edition. Thank you very much for bringing it to Java Edition. Appreciate you all. Bug fixes is the next thing on the list for that. I'm not going to read them all out because there's a ridiculous number of them. And if you want to check them out, the link to the changelog, as usual, will be in the description below. Moving on from the snapshot, today, just before the podcast, again, in the usual way, we got another Minecraft beta/preview. We didn't get one last week, and there's this week's one. Well, I wonder why they bothered, because there's even less in it than there was in Java Edition. There is now a new pop-up if your controller loses connection, which I think's a nice thing, so you're not just wondering why your controller's not working anymore. Skulk Shriekers and I can't speak today. Geez, the words coming out of my mouth. The Skulk Shriekers and Catalyst generation rates match Java Edition now, and there's a whole bunch more Skulk patches in the Ancient Debris and Deep Dark that made them larger and more frequent, because of course, who doesn't want a world full of Skulk? The Deep Dark biome is now decorated with Skulk patches regardless of the Y level, and they've made quite a few marketplace fixes, including some downloading issues. I don't know if they've fixed them all, but it should be a little bit better. And then there's not even a list of bug fixes. That was it. That was the whole changelogs for Minecraft beta. So I'm glad they've added it, and they're glad they've done it, but that's the sort of stuff they just throw in at the end. What's the point? In a whole new beta just for that? So
it feels like we're really on the final countdown. I mean,
Oh, absolutely. We're getting this update real soon.
Yeah, definitely. And the last piece of news, although Slack seems to be editing it as I'm reading it, says that Slack is a modder now. Not really. Don't need this.
Yeah, not really. Don't need this. So just learning some of the chaos stuff and learning some of the codes and things.
I think this is really interesting. So the way the chaos stream works is that there's a mod for Java Edition called Slack.
Twitch mods.
Mods
through Forge. Yeah,
and it allows basically Twitch and Java Edition to talk to each other. So when you interact with the Twitch stream, either by the channel redemptions or bits or subscriptions, it can directly influence what's going on in game. And this last time we did a chaos stream was on 1.16, I think, right?
Yeah, it's been updated since then, but there's still a lot of problems with the stuff that we had moving it over to 1.18. So I've had people helping me troubleshoot and fix the problems.
But you've been effectively editing mod files, right?
Technically at the end of the day, but it's not nothing that nobody else can't do, and the info's readily available out there.
Well, I mean, I still think it's impressive, Slack. So good for you. Well done, bud.
Good talk. Just remember that. Just remember you said good.
Good.
Saturday.
You won't get that
Saturday.
anymore.
We just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. When all your items get yeeted into the ground, then 3 withers get summoned on top of your head, and 100 charged creepers end up in your face. Just remember, at this moment in time, Foxy, you said good. Remember this moment, okay?
I will. Don't worry about it. Right.
Just when bad things happen, be like, good. Thank you, Slack. Thank you. Yeah.
Jessie,
No
have you
problem.
got any news to bring to the news table?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
I don't think
News?
so.
What did
Oh, well.
Evie get for her birthday? That could be news.
Oh, okay. That can be news. Evie, for her birthday, we went to Disneyland, and we just gave
Again?
her a budget. Yeah, we did. Yeah, for her birthday, she went to Disneyland.
Did she say, can I go
And-
back again on day 2 and you went again?
No. She isn't an Ethan, and the Hubs has like a broken foot, so it was really hard. He had to get one of those electrical scooters at Disneyland.
He had
yeah.
to. Oh, I'm going to have to use an electric scooter around Disney. What a shame. Wow, sounds fun.
It was rough, man.
Did you all get on it together like in a line? So he's at the front and
No.
like you're behind.
That would have been amazing.
Then Ethan, then Evie all holding on. That'd been really funny.
That would have been really fun. No, but she picked out 3 things. She bought herself a purse that was
Aw.
Lilo and Stitch, and she got 2 Stitch dolls. I don't know where this love of Stitch suddenly came from, but that is her favorite thing. So she's absolutely over the moon. She has them. I'll send you a picture because they're really cute. But yeah, she had a good time.
Amazing.
Great birthday.
And in the other part of Jessie B news, what did you get for your anniversary?
I went and saw Multiverse of Madness.
Doctor
Yeah.
Strange new movie.
Yeah.
Slack, have you seen it yet?
Nope.
Not yet. No.
Okay, well, we won't do any spoilers, but I also went to see this recently, and it was interesting.
Yeah. I had many feels about it. I had opinions.
now I'm looking up
didn't
spoilers.
dislike
That's what
it,
you're
but
saying.
I was just left thinking, what are they on? What was all
Now I'm
this
looking up
about?
spoilers. Yep. Thank you. Mhm.
So yeah, go watch it because it's great. It's
It
a
was
good
fun.
movie, but it's
Yeah,
just
it was
so
a fun
weird.
Mhm.
So yeah, well, anyway. Moving on to the Bugdate of all places, where we have a whole host of bugs for you this week, don't we, Slack?
What we do? Oh, you're stopping me from looking up things. Right. Bugdate. Wait, we got Bugdate? info?
Well, we got a few things from the peeps, and you've got one that you wanted to talk about today.
Is there a link to the Bugdate?
You even oh my goodness, it's in the we got a whole docs section of the Discord privately. Oh, I just in the stitches, very nice. With it's all there, useful stuff. Slack, click it, feedback. Boom.
Okay.
Jeez.
Feedback. Bugdate. Oh, there's a thing here. Holy crap! Where'd this come from?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's going to be a holy beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Who said it's already going to be really difficult? I've probably given up listening by this. The last one, I was so lazy editing the last one. I did my usual chopping all the quiet bits out and getting rid of all the stuff, and they got to about halfway through, and I just switched off and just like, the rest of it will be fine. I listened through to it sort of, but I didn't make any changes, so I'm sure this week will be the same. Right? Yeah, Slack. You said RTX sucks. Do you want to explain?
RTX is just I've officially gone anti-RTX. Literally, in my last video at the end of it, I'm like, oh, RTX is great, which came out yesterday according to this podcast. And since then, I've grown to hate it. I've just a vile hatred to it. Like every time I even click it, it just turn on RTX. Oh, everything's weird. It's green. It's purple. It's yellow. Let me log out. Oh, you had RTX while you logged on. Let's crash your game. Oh, you were streaming at the same time using virtual audio cables. Guess what? Your audio is now out of sync. You shoot a rocket, you hear it 2 seconds later. Nope. I am so anti-RTX right now. It's not even funny. Good talk.
Okay, so the bug number for that then, Slack, please.
Oh, you want the official bug number? That's RTX by NVIDIA.
Yeah. MCPE-RTX sucks. Okay, good. Glad we had this talk. Speaking of bug numbers, the Dylan Arts actually did give us a bug link in their bug report, and it says there is one bug that's so annoying to me it's causing 2 bugs. I thought this was the Minecraft feature, but recently I was playing Java Edition and it didn't happen. Here it is. When flying with an Elytra in Bedrock Edition, if you get too close to a block on the ceiling, you take suffocation damage. In Java Edition, you can easily fly down a 2-block tall tunnel, but in Bedrock Edition, you will quickly die in the same situation. The other bug this causes is block placement in Elytra mode is one block above your crosshair. I would never even consider trying to place a block while I'm flying with Elytra. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's kind of like when you go into swim mode and all of a sudden you're like a block lower than you used to be, but all the blocks still place above you. So yeah.
Well, it's the skins on Bedrock. Like, okay, so from a third person view, you're flying, but as far as the game's concerned, you're still standing straight up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're standing straight up.
It's weird. It's really weird, and it does need fixing. And in terms of the flying down a corridor, you can do it, but you got to wear a turtle head helmet, basically. So, although I think you just take damage now, don't you?
Well, yeah, but it gives you that few seconds of you're not suffocating like you're drowning.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Hold your breath.
Yeah, it's annoying.
What's White Rabbit's issue, Jessie?
White Rabbit says, lately I have found that when I'm trying to put a name on a name tag with an anvil, it will make the sound, but give an unused tag instead of a name tag.
I think what you need to do is click the other one. If you click and taking the one out on the left, that's the one you put in. Yeah, but no, someone else actually responded to this saying they're having the same issue. So I haven't seen that myself.
So
but
strange.
Maybe it's a pocket thing. So yeah, not
It's
ideal.
probably another mobile thing. Yep.
Yeah, you mobile players bringing down the quality of the game. Who do you think you are? Jeez.
Yeah,
Us PC player elitists that don't like playing on Java Edition and really despise you all. You know that, don't you? Jeez.
Oh my God, that meme PC master race. Anyway,
Yeah, right.
Extreme Game DNA. I just noticed a bug in the latest Java pre-released one. When wearing armor and getting hit, the sound of equipping armor is played. Here is the JIRA.
Thank you very much for the number. So yeah, so you get hit when you're wearing armor and it makes the armor equipping noise. That's kind of weird.
I hadn't noticed that one. Then again,
That'd be kind of funny.
I mean, I did get hit the other day and died on the server because I logged in and it said I was in. I seen myself in the void, and I died in the void.
Yeah, but you were probably not playing on pre-release wrong though, right?
No, I was playing on Truly Bedrock.
Oh well, there you go. So wrong platform and wrong version.
Well, then earlier today I was on Java and I had that whole falling through the as you join the world thing.
Oh yeah,
because the world hasn't have a ton of RAM yet, and I actually fell through the world for so long that I actually died.
Oh no way! Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you tried playing on mobile instead, Slack? It might be a bit better for you.
Let's see if I can find an add-on that can playing Minecraft Java.
There is. You can get it for I think Android and another one now where you can play. I don't know how well it works, but they've done a port basically that allows you to play Java Edition on mobile.
Oh, Java Launcher. That's what it's called. Yep.
Yeah. So no idea whether it's any good or not. I don't know if that allows you to get Minecraft for free. So if that's the case, don't do it because that's really naughty and it's illegal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it would. I'm pretty sure it'll just be like, copy the game files over to here and log into your Minecraft account, surely. But yeah, not endorsed. Don't know whether it works or not. Be careful downloading stuff on your phone that you don't know where it's from. And don't steal the game because it's not that expensive and they keep updating it for many, many years.
Oh, reports saying that it heats up your phone a lot after 20, 25 minutes of using. Yeah.
It sounds about right, yeah. Well, it's Minecraft at the end of the day, isn't it? Imagine if they added RTX to it.
No, it's Minecraft Java. Okay? We're
like
Minecraft.
A sparkler. Jeez.
We're Minecraft. They're Java, okay?
Okay,
right.
Sorry. Right, okay. I'll get my head around that. Zeta says, is it Zeta or Zeta? I always say that wrong.
I say Zeta.
I say Zeta too.
Okay, Zeta it is. I see a lot of talk about the news for extra food in 1.18.33, which is weird. In the betas, you could run and jump and it hardly took any food. However, the moment you took damage, since they didn't add the Java healing mechanism for full saturation, it took a tremendous amount of food to heal if you took damage. Does normal jumping and running seem to use up extra food, or is it fixing the accumulated fall damage from building that seems to cause the extra food usage? Don't know is the answer to that. Not a clue, but they did change all that sort of saturation-y goodness, and I don't think a lot of it works the way they intended it to, so who knows? What do you guys think?
I eat to not die.
Yeah. I have noticed recently that it does seem to take a lot more food than normal to heal, but it's it's fine, whatever. I just eat more.
Yeah, I don't think the regeneration thing works the same way as Java Edition, but they did make a big like noise about when they changed it that running and jumping shouldn't use as much saturation now, which is that's a good thing, I think. But you're taking damage for running and jumping is a bit odd, bit strange. But again, Bedrock Edition, it's so weird how damage works. Hopefully that will get some more love again soon, because it doesn't feel like all of the tweaks they've made are quite hitting the nail on the head there.
I don't know.
Yeah, the transition hasn't been fully successful.
You say so weird, but I can almost bank every time if I start pillaring up with dirt or something, I'm going to take damage. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? I think it's because the higher you're going up, the like every time you're jumping up and placing a block, it's thinking you're falling, isn't it? So I don't know. It's weird.
You're in the void. You're in the void. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That is the end of today's bug date. And now we're moving on to a brand new section that we're going to call the wish list, where we look at the feedback.minecraft.net website, pick out one of the features that other people have requested to be added into the game, and talk about whether or not we want it in the game ourselves. And Jessie has picked fruit, trees and bushes, which has 34,800 votes. Jessie, why would you like or dislike fruit, trees and bushes?
Well, as comes no shock to a single soul, any kind of new tree, yes please. Absolutely. I can just imagine the cool things I could do with like fruit bearing leaves. How cool would that be? So in general, I just think that would be fun, but I've always liked the idea of having more fruit variety in the game, because we have apple trees and I think that's cool. But having like a pear tree or some other kind of thing, just having more fruit in the game, I've always liked the idea of that. And since they have them in mods and stuff, I think it's cool. Bushes, again, I'm sure it comes as no shock, but I love to terraform, and I can just picture the amount of fun terraforming projects I could do with bushes.
Yeah, can you imagine this little like spiky bush with red fruit on it that when you click on it, that gives you
that
sweet
bush
berries?
Is evil. It's evil.
That exists already.
Okay, but you can't use it for terraforming properly. Like, it's just one color.
I can't put that bush on the ceiling. I can't put it on the wall. I got to put it on the ground. It's got to be on this. And God forbid I walk into it, because then I'm going to rant and rave and then I'm going to break it.
Yeah, I want a not spiky bush.
Okay, well, I don't want to know about that, Jessie. We're trying to talk about Minecraft here, but crack on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hope you remember to listen to this part of the podcast.
Right?
The now that we've got propagules which hang down from the mangrove trees, I can't see why they couldn't add in things like apples and pears and stuff like that to certain trees. And I just think that with all of the noise they made recently about biome diversity and these changes, it would be really good of them to just go, do you know what, we're just going to just create a whole bunch of, not new biomes, but they were just going to bring all this in one big giant update and do all of these cool things. And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, absolutely.
Like the Java mods where you've got apple trees, you just see the apple like items stuck to the leaves, and I don't think it looks that great really, but actually having them hanging, I think it would be brilliant, especially if they dropped as well. Like, it'd be great. So yeah, I agree, Jessie. I would like that one. Put that in the good ideas bin, please. What do you think, Slack?
I like it. I think it's great, but I was just sitting here thinking, for us that have played the game for a while, we didn't experience this. We didn't experience that. Then we get this, and we get this, and we get this, and we get all these new features that we want, and we want more. We want more. We obviously want more. Isn't that like information overload for somebody new that starts the game?
I don't think so. It's no different from a new player starting any game that's got a lot of stuff going on it, really. You don't go in with a level of expectation of how little there should be. You just go, you appreciate what's there, don't you? I don't think...
Well, really, before Aquatic Update, was it really that little in the game?
No, but
before Village and Pillage, was it that little in the game?
For me, if I go into a game that's got like a really advanced UI system and it's got like a million pages and I've got to do this with my armor and I've got to get these points to upgrade my abilities, and then it just overwhelms me, and I find that puts me off. But just going into a game and walking about, I don't think I've ever gone into a game and gone, oh, there's too many apples on these trees. Do you know?
Yeah.
So
I think
Minecraft, it eases, as a new player, it eases you in because none of that's there at the beginning, is it? Like if there was apples on trees, obviously it would be, but the mechanics aren't just all thrown at you at once. You learn them as you go through the game and you play.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So
just curious, random feedback there on that.
Yeah, no, that's a good thought.
It's a good point. Yeah, I think it would be more overwhelming. Say somebody used to play in like 2013, right? They used to play. And then they come back to the game now. Yeah, I could absolutely see them being like, ooh, this is overwhelming because things have changed. I think the more things you add into a game like Minecraft, it's harder for people who have been around longer because they don't like change. But getting a new person in, they're just like, oh, okay, this is a lot of cool stuff. Like it's just different. It's not something that I feel like might be overwhelming because it's at this point kind of like a sandbox game. You don't have to do anything. You don't ever have to interact with anything. You could just run around forever and be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of when you first started playing the game, by the way, I know we've talked about it a few times on the podcast, but it actually came up during a TB meeting, and Liara went through her emails and found her original receipt for when she bought the game. And I thought, oh, well, I don't think my emails go back that far, but they do. So I went back through my emails and I found out that I bought my first copy of Minecraft Java Edition on the 23rd of November, 2011, which was 23rd of November, 2011. I'm just going through the Java Edition changelogs now. It was like one day before the release of Minecraft 1.1. Minecraft Java Edition 1.1 came out the next day after I did that. So that's how long I've been
you're
playing.
Basically an OG, like day one, here from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. The full release, that Minecraft 1.0, when it first came out of beta, only came out like 5 days before that. That came out on the November the 18th, 2011, and they updated it to 1.1 a couple of days later. So, yeah. I was there at the beginning, guys.
That's that's crazy.
Which is why
now that makes me want to go back and look.
Yeah,
look through my email.
When I was looking at all these YouTube tutorials trying to figure out how to do anything, they were all beta ones and I couldn't figure it out. So yeah, it makes sense now. So there we go. Jeez. Right. Anyway, Slack, what's on your wish list?
A parody one. Give me Sweeping Edge, please.
Java Parity Sweeping Edge Enchantment for Bedrock, which got 1,602 votes. That's all it's got. So I'm going to put the links to these in the description below. If you're interested in these, make sure to go there and click on the vote and then realise that you haven't signed into your Minecraft account. And oh, geez. Yeah, just vote for them because these are good. Anyway, why do you want this one, Slack?
Because I don't like Trident Killers.
Ooh.
I've never liked Trident Killers, so I don't know. I don't like spam clicking. It feels like there's no skill involved in spam clicking. Literally, give me a turbo button on my mouse. I'll kill anything that comes at me. With Sweeping Edge, the cooldown and everything else like that, if you attack too soon, you're going to do less damage and everything. I've always liked that. I've always liked that. Anytime, that's one of my favorite things about Java. That and offhanding, but wish list, not I would kill for thing list.
Yeah.
Offhanding would be very nice.
Yeah, I agree. Offhanding definitely would be great, but I would love Sweeping Edge because it just makes such a big difference to not just farming, but just fighting things as well. So yeah, I'd really like that. What do you think, Jess?
Look, I could see this one coming in without no big changes. You don't need an extra button or anything. Look, offhanding, okay, well, the phone, we need to be able to touch it on the off screen. This is an enchantment, Sweeping Edge. It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense why they haven't added this, unless there's like some engine mechanic that doesn't work. But it'd be no different to hitting a bunch of mobs with like a splash potion. So, yeah, sorry, Jessie, go on.
No, you're fine. I like Sweeping Edge unless I'm next to a villager. Then I find it troubling. But I don't know. I've never cared either way, whether it's here or not here. I remember someone asking someone, I wonder, I don't know even if that was on Twitter or what, but them saying it had something to do with our mechanics just being different. Like we have different fighting mechanics than Java does.
Yeah, completely.
Or something like that. And like that's why it hasn't come over yet. So they would have to rework the fighting stuff. Like it'd be technical. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, having it I think would be cool. That's a fun thing to have.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Sweeping Edge was in Java Edition when they had spam clicking, because their move over to this new cooldown system didn't happen for a while, and I'm sure Sweeping Edge was in there before that. So even that, I don't think is an argument for it to not be in Bedrock. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit too hard. Maybe they just don't think people need it. I don't know. It just seems like a really weird one for them to have not added in for all this time. The argument before was, they're working on a combat update, so there's no point. And I know we've heard bits and bobs of that recently, but we've not seen anything from it. It's been a long time coming. So it just, I don't know, just feels like a slow one. But
if the combat update's coming, they need to, get it going, because we've heard that for
forever.
The whole time TB's been out now.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's been forever they've been talking about it.
Yeah, well, it was Ulraf spoke up recently to say that he's taking it over now, because obviously it was Jeb before, but Ulraf is going to be taking it under his wing. But I get this feeling this is like a side project rather than like a full-time development thing. So I don't know. A lot of work to do on that one, and I think that's the sort of thing that will need a lot of player feedback as well, because you really don't want to be upsetting people playing mini games on servers and PvT people, and geez,
come on. We've all heard rumors about these side projects, and it's something that they do. No. We know for a fact that some people have done side projects and got stuff into the game.
Yeah,
but we also know that these people do this on their spare time. Come on, really that becomes a side project?
Well, I think unless they announce that as a feature, like at Minecraft Live, we're going to have a combat update, then it has to be, really, doesn't it? Because it's not core to the game, I would say. So I don't know, but it does lead me onto my wish list item for today, believe it or not, because although my wish list item is double jump enchantment for boots, which has got 3,815 votes, that's not really what I wanted, but it kind of made me think about what I wanted. And I've been thinking about this for a while, particularly since playing Elden Ring. One of the things that you get playing other games that have combat stuff is a feeling of being strong. And often that just comes from how the sound effect that your weapon makes when you do a hard hit, or just the way that you or the thing that you're hitting reacts. Maybe like if you hit something really hard in some games, you almost get this like stutter where it feels like you've hit something, and you get a slash animation going across the screen like you do with Sweeping Edge. And I'd really like to see more stuff in the game that was reactive in that way. So go into double jump for enchantment for boots. I hate jump boost. I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels, but I would like the ability to be able to jump higher, like using a double jump, because I think the way double jump works, it feels good. You can time it, you can get it right, and you get that nice feel of I've jumped again in the air if it makes a good sound effect and it reacts nicely. But I don't just want that. I want dodge rolling. I want to be able to hard hit with my sword. I know we can jump on the spot and do a critical hit, but all you get is a couple of little sparkles. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything. There's no reactiveness to the player when you're doing it. And Sweeping Edge on Java Edition does feel like you're doing a big swipe, because it's got a louder sound. You see the animation. You feel like you're actually doing some damage. On Bedrock, you just feel like you're tickling everyone with a feather. So, yeah, I think that the double jump enchantment I would definitely like instead of jump boost. And I'd really like also things like dodge rolling, or the ability to jump strafe or dodge back. And then just, being able to just have different interactions with things when I hit it, depending on how fast I'm going or what I'm doing. So that's my thoughts. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely. I think that probably would lead really well into a combat update in general. And I think that kind of stuff would be really good for immersion. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool for modded. I don't think you'd ever get in the vanilla game dodge rolling, but who knows, you might.
I don't see why not. We've got stranger animations like this underwater swimming one and going into your elytra. I can't think. all that dodge rolling is realistically is it's just the player moving relatively quickly and an animation. It's nothing difficult to add in the game. I mean, I think I could just about probably do that with an add-on. Like if you detected when you were, like, I don't know, going backwards while holding a sword, then it would
While holding crouch?
yeah,
So your shield
TP
went
you
up?
back a block or something, but then obviously you end up inside blocks or something. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's possible to do with an add-on. So I don't think that's too much to ask to be on my wish list anyway. Right.
Oh, be interesting.
That is enough of today's wish list, which means we're going into the Q&A. However, as is tradition, I think it's time for a dance break because my bladder is full and my glass is empty. Jeez. So what do you think, Slack? Should we go top up?
Oh, that's actually a rare instance where I'm actually good, but
Well, I'll go on my own then. Jeez. Say I'll be back in a minute.
Ba, ba, ba.
do 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 do. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Down, ba-ba-bow.
Ba, 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 down.
Ba-da-ba-boom, ba-da-dum-boom, ba-da-dum-boom, ba-da-dum-boom.
Right, peeps, before we go into
Yes.
the questions,
Mhm.
would it be... See, when I'm doing these podcasts, I'm always trying to think of, during the edit, an interesting title that's, not a lie, not just clickbait, but enticing to the viewer. And the only one I got in my mind right now is Jessiie doesn't want a spiky bush. Is that too much?
No.
Can I
No,
call
this is
it that?
not. No, I'm actually fine with that. We there's innuendos, but like this isn't our YouTube content in the sense. No, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, this is for a more mature audience. Even though that one person's like, I followed them since I was 5. A decade later, and my mind went, "Yep, they're 15 years old."
Oh,
Well, if you're at 15 and you don't get that reference, then you're very, very sheltered. So
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that. No.
good,
Yeah.
excellent. Right, we didn't say anything rude.
no, it's just
No,
it's funny.
it's literally your own imagination. And then you immediately went from that to the hanging things from the trees. And I was just like,
Right, okay, into the questions. Our first question is from Patman, who said, not Pac-Man, by the way, it's Patman. Says, hello, guys. And this has got a question and bug date, by the way, which is why I put it first. I was thinking about the idea of the warden breaking blocks, and I think that he would not break the naturally generated sculk blocks and the unbreakable blocks such as bedrock or reinforced deep slate. Anything that would be placed by the player or not sculk, the warden would destroy. What do you think? Because I'm getting bored of trapping the warden in a hole. I think this is probably quite an old question from an old... Well, it's not an old question, but you must have been listening to an old episode of the podcast because that's something we were talking about ages ago. But yeah, I don't think... I think it should be able to break blocks. I like that idea that it can like bash through walls trying to get to you.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah, can he have 100% drop rate and then we use him in a tree farm or something, or concrete farm?
Oh, yeah, finally, a decent tree farm.
Oh,
You
that
don't
would be
need 10
great.
million pistons for and a PhD in electronics to understand.
Yeah, what if you could just push all the wood towards him and just like as it hit him, it's just like, it just falls into hoppers.
Oh, man, that would be great. Yes, please. I'll have 2. Right. The bug
Yeah.
date part of that question was, I experienced the chest plate bug. My friend and I were netherite PvPing and he couldn't take off his chest plate. He went into creative mode and I made him operator. He still couldn't. He was on an iPad. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Yet again, mobile players letting us down here, peeps. I'm just put that out there. Jeez. What do you think you're doing? Delete the game. Just leave it with us elitist PC players or no, okay? Jeez. No, I don't know if it's just mobile or not. It
Why
does
do
sound
they
like a
keep
bit of a
trying
bad one,
to
though.
get on par with us. Get good. Get good.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what would even cause that. How you can not unequip something. Has that happened to you guys?
No.
I've had that happen.
Yeah. It's like the item in your inventory that you can't move and you have to relog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
guess
I've had
it's kinda
that.
like that,
I've had
yeah.
that happen.
I mean, what you could do, it's a bit of a workaround and it's quite expensive, is the same thing I do when I get stuck in the beta, is just buy the game again and go in with a different account.
Yeah, and then it gets locked in the beta too. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least he won't be stuck wearing his chest plate. No, the easiest thing to do, and I know a lot of people don't like doing it, is just kill yourself, just die in game, and then pop, chest plate comes off. Unless it's got Curse of Vanishing on it and you really like it, in which just wear it until it wears out. Nothing you can do.
Yeah. Aiden Shin says, "Hi Foxy, Slack, and Jessiie. Aiden here. Last time I asked how to go to the sky limit the fastest. This time I want to ask, what do you think is the best and fastest way to mine to Bedrock in the wild update? P.S. My full name is Aiden Shin."
Just dig straight down. Dig straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, dig straight down.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I would think maybe go caving is probably, like, if there's a cave near you, just go floop and then dig, right? No.
Dig with water bucket. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
there
a
we
tricky
go.
one, that, because if you do dig straight down, chances are you're going to end up falling through a ginormous cave and splat at the bottom of that, or you'll end up in lava, or you'll just get stuck. But if you're just talking what is the fastest way to do it, then yeah, if you've got an efficiency 5 pickaxe with a haste 2 beacon, I reckon you get down there quicker than someone trying to find a cave and going down. But realistically, if you want to survive, then yeah, a massive cave opening that takes you down to sort of the minus levels anyway, and then just doing a bit of staircasing is probably a safer way to do it. But yeah, dig straight down's got to be the fastest way. I can't see any other way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right?
Yeah, I've done it plenty of times. And if you do dig straight down with if you stand in the middle of 2 blocks and do like one left, then right, then left, then right, you can get that going pretty quick. And then you can, by the time one's gone and you can see the giant hole, you can stop if you stop quick enough. Or you can do it before you get into lava. So that's not a bad way of doing it. But then you dig in twice the amount of blocks, and when you get to deep slope, that's pretty slow. So
yeah, that's the rough part, is when you get down to deep slate and you're just like, why?
Yeah, Foxy's approach with the 2, and then you take your water bucket. Oh, look, this opens up into a big cavern. I drop my water bucket and then I pick it up and I float down the water. Yep.
Do you remember that time, Slack? I think you were recording together, and I was digging straight down to get something or other, and there was lava down there, and I managed to pull my water bucket above my head and make them all an obsidian appear above me. I think we were going end raiding or something, weren't we? And I was just trapped underneath the obsidian in the lava pool.
Yep. I remember Silent doing that on episode 2 of Jesus. The first
season zero. Yeah,
season
when you first got
he
had all the wither stuff in his pockets. Oh, geez.
Yep. Yeah, me and Zloy had just spent 12 hours getting wither skulls. 12 hours getting wither skulls, using charge creepers and everything.
That was the first. That was the first time and the last time, I think, that there was like, Foxy, can we just like cheat in some wither stuff? And I'm like, no, you got to roll with it. Gotta roll with it, guys. It's not a bug. We don't cheat things. Even if it is a bug, we're playing Bedrock Edition. We know they exist. You gotta swallow it and just go with it. And you all made such a big thing out of it, like in a good way. So I think it was really positive that we didn't just cheat roll in. So
I remember being like a fan in that time. And just how fun that was, because as someone who plays, just how painful that must have been.
Oh no, you don't, because we did a lot of video editing. You have no idea how painful that was. That was after me and Zloy. Okay, this is me and Zloy just meeting too.
Yeah,
and he's got his heavy Russian accent. I've got my bad Kentucky accent at that time. So like we're constantly, what'd you say, all day for 12 hours. Then we get the wither skulls, and Silent comes in. And then gets hit by a phantom and ends up under lava and loses everything. Let's just say all 3 of us lost our cool.
I can imagine. But we wouldn't be talking about that today if we'd cheated those items back in, because it would have just become... Yeah. I don't think the season would have been what it was. I think that's the sort of thing that really brings people together. So I'm glad that happened.
That was a defining moment for TV.
Yeah, definitely.
That was literally day 2 of the first or season 0. Yep.
It could have. That's one of those, like, like when you've got like parallel universes. We made this decision, and if we went one way and truly Bedrock didn't ever, never got past season 0, but we made this decision, and it's now like 4 seasons in type thing. I genuinely think if we'd have just gone, yeah, okay, we'll cheat your stuff back in, would truly Bedrock wouldn't exist now, because we'd have done it. It'd happen all the time. We'd have all got bored and frustrated and moved on. I think so. That's my thoughts anyway.
That reminds me of a moment
Yeah.
that I can't mention here.
Yeah, speaking of, the Dylan Arts says, hello, unofficial update
wrong
crew.
One. You've skipped one.
Oh, have I? Oh, jeez.
Yes.
I scrolled down too far. Sorry, White Bush, not Spiky Bush. It's White Bush. Slack, go for it.
White Bush. Yeah, White Bush says hello, trio. With the addition of ore veins. White Bush here with hello, trio. With the addition of ore veins, getting plenty of iron and more than we can handle of copper, what do you think of adding redstone veins? Copper veins could easily be cut in half and give us techies a much better resource of redstone, or much better source of redstone. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Copper veins seem pointless to me.
I love copper veins.
Just go mining in like a, what is it? What's the dripstone cave? Yeah, you get all the copper that you could want real quick. Build a copper farm.
That's how I feel about redstone. I have
where
redstone everywhere. Everywhere.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Where?
Go mining.
No, Jesse, I'm really sorry here, but you have to talk to real people that don't play Minecraft, just dig in 12, 13 hours a day, okay? We don't all have buckets of redstone and diamonds.
I never have redstone.
I literally just gave Groova, I think, 10 stacks of redstone blocks.
Jeez.
Because I just have, they're everywhere. You just don't be lazy. It's fine.
I have to agree that
lazy. I've got farms that can produce everything with the exception of redstone. The only way you get that's with a witch farm. And find me a witch hut within the bounding boxes of TB. Oh, right. They don't exist because when we generated the world, we didn't get no swamps.
So,
Aww, it's a sad story.
anger aside, redstone, I think as a normal player that's into redstone, it is very difficult to get hold of redstone in large quantities, even with a witch farm, because witches don't drop all that much redstone, and you go through it very quickly if you are building large redstone contraptions and farms and things. Underground now, I personally find I got a lot less redstone than I used to. Now, maybe that's because I'm digging through deep slate and it's slower, but even the amount of mining that I do, and I would consider myself to do a lot of mining, nowhere near what you do, obviously, Jesse, but compared to most people, I dig an awful lot. Like 70% of my time playing Minecraft is probably digging, and I've got no redstone hardly at all. So I think redstone veins would be great. Copper veins, I don't think they should get rid of, but what I'd like from copper veins, instead of just getting fresh copper, I'd like to be able to actually mine the already turned copper, because I like the idea that it ages, but I don't like big fields worth of copper just aging.
Yeah.
So being able to just like dig up, oh, this stuff's already green, that'd be great. So,
Yeah, and I'm just messing. I actually think that a redstone vein would be a really cool idea. Just imagine what it would look like.
Oh, yeah.
Like atmospherically, like I think that would be so pretty. So yeah, joking and making Slack angry aside, I think it's a good idea.
Where's the Jessiie B? I need the Jessiie B on my friends list here. I need to see her block mine, because I've got 7.5 million blocks mined on Bedrock. Okay. I need
Jessie's
what's your
is gonna
Xbox
be-
Live gamer tag?
I think it's just Jessiie B.
Share screen, Slack, because I want to see this as well. I want to see mine,
Yeah,
but mine will
let's
be
see.
about 5.
You're under me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here, Xbox Live companion.
For those of you very confused at home as to what's going on, Slack is looking at the Xbox app, which shows you what you and your friends have done in game, and it actually shows you how many blocks have been mined if you can find the right page. Now, have you found it?
Jessie's not on here yet. It doesn't
Hold on.
register.
Slacks is
Jessie yet.
9.5 million. Oh,
No,
no,
that's
that's
Ranger's Edge.
Rangers. Slacks is 7.5 million. Mine's 5.4 million. Tiz is 4.8 million. Zloy is 3.7 million. But Jessiie B's not even on there, peeps. We know what that means.
Let's
She's
see.
been hacking.
Yeah, that's what I'm
hacking.
calling here. I'm calling hacks.
Okay,
Here,
I
let's
got
refresh
so
that.
much
redstone. I just found it. I've got an app on my
Well, she just didn't want to add me as a friend. She didn't want me to see.
You're literally a favorited person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to come back to that. Maybe refresh it a few times. Close the app, open it
How
again.
about you look at yours and see what
Okay.
yours says?
Where
How
do
does
I
one get
Minecraft?
there?
I
Yeah.
love editing.
How does one get there?
podcasts, I'm
First,
just
you
gonna
load up
say.
the Xbox companion app.
Oh, blocks broken. I'm below Foxy.
What?
What?
I'm below
yeah, definitely
Slack.
calling hacks.
Yeah, I'm definitely see hacks. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm way down. Looks like.
Go on, what you
what's
got?
your number?
Hold on. I'm below Tiz even.
4.6 million. Wow. Okay, Jessiie B, we've just found out, is a big cheater.
Yeah,
She
there's a
doesn't
hack.
spend 12, 13 hours a day mining. She just logs on AFKs
Hacks.
randomly and then clicks in a load of cheaty redstone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seeing as
Jesse
how I-
Dupin, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Seeing as how I don't have that capability.
Jesse Dupin.
Yeah, see, but look at my time played is still less than Slack.
Jeez, 259 days. What's
AFK,
mine?
You know, I do this AFK
Oh.
thing.
Yeah, you do AFK.
Yeah. See, I don't AFK on my main account, so what's mine?
Time played for Foxy. It is
You're 210 days.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so...
No.
Right, anyway, moving on.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The Dylan Arts says, hello, unofficial update crew. 1.19 is just around the corner and I'm already not very hyped for it. I love all of the new features, the wardens, the deep dark, the shards and the disc, and I'm not one of those people who is fuzzed up about fireflies and birch forests. I'm mostly indifferent. I'm more concerned about how buggy Bedrock is. I feel like Mojang doesn't put enough effort into fixing bugs. What are your opinions about 1.20 being a parity update? The parity update would not add any new features, only parity fixes and bug fixes. They would have to do a lot of community interaction and decide what edition gets what. I don't expect full parity, I never do, but I feel like some work can be done to make Bedrock smoother and give Java a few of our quality of life features. If this is a short podcast week, I would also like to hear your opinions on what features should be brought to Bedrock or brought to Java. Geez. I think 1.20 needs to be a big old update. I think 1.20 being a parity update is a bad idea, considering this update's the community seems to feel it's lacking somewhat. They've been doing parity all throughout this one. They've done loads of parity stuff both ways on this one, and I can only see that like continuing. I don't think we need a full-on update focused on parity. I personally don't want that, but I do like the idea that they keep squashing some of the bugs, and I think they could focus, if they are taking community feedback, it would be nice if they focus some on more of the like upfront bugs that were really causing a problem rather than just the random ones they seem to find on the bug tracker. So that's my thoughts on that. What do you guys think?
I think that parity updates and stuff like that are not for big updates. I think that would be a tremendously bad idea. I think that's a good way to alienate a lot of players, honestly, because those big updates are for hype, right? They're for getting you excited. They're for getting you to want something new to do. Like all of these things are kind of big selling points for them. And you'll notice that anytime a new update happens is we get this like surge of players coming back to Minecraft. We get this surge of new content, and it's just having a parody update. No one's going to care. And I feel like you're just going to be wasting hype. So for me, it very much feels like parody things obviously need to be in those like little updates, just chip away at them. And then when it's all said and done, you could be like, look, they're exactly the same game, which I'm not really on board with.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they'll never be 100% parity. I don't care what everybody says. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. Not with the two code bases. You got them in totally different code bases. And honestly, if they did a 1.20, the parity update, I would consider that a slap in the face to all of us. Because how many of us have wanted things changed and they've just, no. Things are getting better on Bedrock, but like Foxy just said there, one of the biggest things is the fact that they are different.
Yeah.
There's things that we want that would still make the games totally different. Give us Sweeping Edge, still not the same game. Give us the bushes and stuff like that, still not the same game. It's...
I just think, if you think about, right, okay, this is going to put things into perspective, I think, for Dylan a little bit. If they said in August this year that 1.20 is going to be a parity update, and you had to wait nearly an entire year seeing all of these parity changes going on, would you not just be thinking, if you're making those changes, why can't we have them now? You know?
Yeah.
When you get through you've got nothing to look forward to at the end of that. You get the parity changes and you're like, yeah, we've got them. But when they do it like they're doing now, they're drip feeding them through these minor updates. We're getting these parity updates really quickly. And it's just sort of adding to a game over that period of time. And sometimes, you know, some people are like, yeah, we've got this. And it's adding a little bit of mini hype to these minor updates. But most people, I would say, most of the player base probably just goes over the head, don't even notice. If that whole update was that, I think it would just, I think a lot of people would just lose interest in the game. A whole year waiting for much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going to add a hardcore mode in. A whole year? Nah, they could do that in a week. Well, maybe not, but you know what I mean. That's what the thoughts of the people would be. So I just don't think it's a good idea, personally.
And then even moving forward, we're not even getting parity now on stuff that's being developed at the same time.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that. Jeez.
I mean, like what? Look, the LA is different on each version. The Warden different. It's just, we're not.
They're a lot closer than they used to be, though. Slack. How close things are now between versions for this update, and things have never been closer than this before.
All right, then here's the question then, because it doesn't seem like 100% parity is ever going to be a thing.
No.
Where do you draw the line? What percent is it okay? Is it acceptable?
I think as long as players are playing the game, as long as people aren't like asking for their money back and the game's not unplayable, I don't think Mojang really mind. I think I wasn't asking for Mojang. I was asking for you. Where is it acceptable that there's going to be a difference in the two versions? I don't. When it's new features, it does annoy me when one's different to the other, because you just think, well, you've just been developing them side by side. Why can't they be the same? Like the Village and Pillage update, that really did upset me, the fact that even now villagers and village mechanics are just so rubbish, and it's like it honestly just felt like they finished the Village and Pillage update and they gave up. There was no more. It really did feel like there was this coldness coming from Mojang at that point towards Bedrock Edition, because Java Edition, they released it, and for months afterwards they were tweaking this, and then they changed that, and then they added scare mechanics, then they did this, and then they did that, and even now they're tweaking and stuff. Village mechanics, like in the last snapshot, they got the ability to do locate POI, which actually allows you to find out which villager's connected to which workstation by running a command. And just, you know, we still don't even have our villagers connecting to workstations that they can see. They'll connect to one anywhere. So that really does irritate me. But the stuff that was in the game previously, fine. It would be nice if some of those things came through, but they don't bother me, because that's just, in my mind, the games were different then, and that's in the certain aspects that are always going to be on the catch-up list. But going forward, I don't see why things that are possible to do with the engine shouldn't be the same. Now look at the Skulk Shrieker, the Skulk Sensor, sorry. The Skulk Sensor behaves slightly differently on Bedrock than it does on Java Edition, in the sense that it doesn't have the same range of things it can detect, and it doesn't have the same range of things it will output via redstone, because it can't detect those things the same way. That's not them going, oh, I can't be bothered. That's going, well, we just don't have that set up in the engine to be able to detect those features. There's no triggers on Bedrock Edition, so that sort of stuff's a big job, and it's a lot harder. So yeah, we could say, well, put more time into it. Don't build these features on Java Edition until you can get them on Bedrock. But then we also complain, well, why can't we have this on Bedrock, even though half of the player base can't use it because they're on mobile? I still want it on my PC. You can't have both arguments and, you know, keep a straight face. So I think we just got to accept that some things are going to be slightly different, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. No. I feel it's one of those things where I agree with you. You can't kind of talk down about us not getting things because of mobile and then get really upset that Java has things that we don't. It's the same thing. As much as we want to act like it's not, it is. So I'm of that mindset as well. I'm one of those people who I know this is going to sound really bad coming from me. I'm one of those people that doesn't totally care about parity. It's not high on my list. And I say that as somebody who now has almost everything they want from Java on Bedrock. So I'm
got
biased.
everything, so I don't care anymore. Yeah.
Like, yeah, the only thing I really want is offhand. And we've got reasons why we don't. It makes me upset, but you know what? It's fine. But I got my trapdoors, so we're good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's it. That's all you wanted, and now you got the
Yep, I just
trapdoors.
wanted the flower pots. Yep.
Jeez. Slack, go on. You were saying something then.
Oh, I was just, yeah, it's convenient for you who's got the parity features that they want.
Yeah. I mean, can't complain if I'm happy.
Hypocrite.
If they're
Yeah.
doing what I want.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Minecraft just means so much different to every single person. You can't possibly make everyone happy. So I think as a player, if you still find yourself playing it every day, then you've got to consider you're happy with the game. Otherwise, you wouldn't.
I mean, a classic case in point here is Miss I go mining, or well, I dupe stuff and have lots of redstone versus us that farm to get our materials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a big difference, is farming versus, resource gathering. And
duping,
I don't have the same.
Maybe she's not
don't
duping.
have the
Maybe
same
she's
needs.
stealing. Maybe that's why we got no redstone and she's got loads.
Maybe she knows a
She's
bug.
sneaking around when no one else is on. I've been mining. Oh, really? Is that what we call it? We call it
I could have
stealing,
swore I
Jessiie.
had redstone in my chest.
Wow. Wow.
Jeez. Right, moving on, Jessiie. Mr.
Oh my
Pesky
goodness.
Bird left us 2 questions and then labeled them both feedback, and they're the same and make no
I
sense.
was just going to say they're the same, right? So I'm just going to read one of them.
Okay.
It says, "Hi, guys and Jessiie. What do you think about the rotten potato, as it seems silly as it's just poison?"
Yeah.
I think this is something that gets brought up a lot. That people are always talking about whether it's just a useless thing or not. I don't care. It's a poisonous potato. If they want to have it in the game, that's fine. I would really like if it had a use at some point
Feed
in
it to your
time.
dog.
You can feed the poisonous potato to your dog.
Can you? No,
Pretty
they
sure.
don't even know normal potatoes. Why they can eat rotten flesh, not poisonous potatoes.
Yeah, I thought they could only eat meat.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody. Hold on.
I'm gonna try feeding it to a pig because they eat potatoes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a thing, but I'd be really happy if it was. But no, the only thing I want out of poison potatoes is to be able to brew them into a poison potion, because that just
Yeah,
seems
that
to
just
make
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh, that would make sense,
chuck
yeah.
them in a cauldron and get poison tipped arrows or something. But I mean, I don't care.
Oh, that's rotten flesh, isn't it? Rotten flesh you can get
Yeah,
to your
it's
dog.
rotten
Yeah.
flesh.
I
Oh, what are you gonna do
care
with them?
care about as much about poison potatoes as the fact that we don't have spectral arrows. Well, we don't need them, so I don't care.
Well,
Yeah.
we can use them as currency instead of diamonds. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on. What's Blue Block got to say, Slack?
Blue Block. Random question. My daughter wants to know what you all did before you worked with YouTube. Did any of you have any alternate career paths that you turned away from to be a Minecraft creator instead?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Jessiie, kick us off. What did you do before you started YouTube?
I was a medical administrator. So I worked in hospitals and in doctors' offices, and it was a pain. But yeah, that's what I did.
We got about this
before.
wrong. We should have guessed. We should have just guessed what each
I
other
know,
did.
right? We
Oh,
should
man.
have guessed.
Oh, geez. Although I think that could have turned dark quickly. So that's really interesting,
The
actually.
image I had of Foxy before I knew what he looked like was Santa Claus. I'm just saying.
I always used to tell everyone when they would comment on my live streams, ask me what I did for a job, I always used to say I make dresses for penguins. I don't know where that came from. I just came up with it one day and it sort of snowballed.
That's amazing.
And I even found some images on Google Images of dresses, like penguins wearing dresses. Shared them. They're like, I've made these. And
That's my favorite thing in the world, probably.
so yeah, I never have made dresses for penguins. I've never sewed anything. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to start that. I studied media technology. I then got a job as a graphic designer. Then I got a job as a web designer. And then I got a job as a food machinery person and I became an engineer for many, many years. And then I started Minecraft. What about you, Slack?
I wanted to be a teacher, but that didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. And then it's hard choice on which way it went first. I was going to join the military. That's what I wanted to do. And my grandfather talked me out of that. So I didn't end up joining the military. And then I wanted to be a teacher. And then just life interfered with that. So that didn't happen. And I never really got into anything that I really absolutely loved. I went to art school. I was a tattoo artist for several years. But it just wasn't nothing that I had the passion for. It was a lot of just moving from job to job that I just wasn't happy with. I always used to joke that I was made for a desk, not to do physical labor. And now I'm living the dream. I'm doing the job that I want. I'm having fun with it. I've literally found my passion and turned that into my way of making a living too. So it's win-win all around.
It's really interesting. You mentioned wanting to be a school teacher because when I came out of university, that's really where I wanted to be. Although I really wanted to make like music videos and get into like motion graphics and stuff like that. But where I imagined my career being and what I was like leaning towards was being either a college or a university tutor and teaching those things, because I really get a kick out of that, sharing information. And I think that's probably why I get a lot out of Minecraft and stuff, because I can share information. So yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd still like to do that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I wanted to go to school to be a teacher as well.
There you go. Wow.
The
Minecraft
I wanted to be
teachers podcast,
right? Yeah, I wanted to be an elementary school teacher. I was dead set. I did elementary school teaching as an elective. Like, I was super into it. And my grandma, who was a 3rd grade teacher, said, "Don't do it."
This is interesting. I wonder how many content creators wanted to be a teacher, because I know Jen wanted to be a teacher, and I know a couple other people who stream or do videos that wanted to be a teacher.
That's interesting. I bet there is a trend with that, because it's not the same, but it kind of sort of is a bit. There's a lot of similarities there. Although I definitely would not have wanted to be an elementary school teacher.
No, not that. No.
My mum
Curious,
was
what did everybody want to teach?
What would I want to teach? Like
English.
media.
Really?
I actually did. I used to go. It only happened a few times, but when I was doing one of my media jobs, like graphic design, there was a school contacted me, and they used to get me to go in and help the kids do motion graphics, and I really enjoyed doing that. So, yeah,
that's so cool.
I'd love to do that again. But yeah, my mum was a teacher when I was growing up, and she actually, when I went to secondary school, she was my teacher for a few years, and that wasn't much fun. That was awful. She didn't want to look like I was the favorite. So there's one teacher that was evil to me, because she was like, "Just because your mother works here doesn't mean..." And nearly every single lesson, my mum sent me out of the room because it didn't matter what I did. Even if it wasn't me, I was out. I always get sat next to a girl that used to stab me with a compass. And I would be the one that got sent out, so she didn't look like she was picking favorites. So yeah,
wow.
I looked forward to. I read the daft as it sounds. I actually really enjoyed my mum being my teacher, but I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's over, because I joined that school 1 year before she did as a teacher. And the first day she joined, the first day she came into the classroom I was in during registration. I had a different teacher at that time, and she started brushing my hair in front of the rest of the class. I'm like, oh my god, this is no. It's not happening. So yeah, good times.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Woo.
Moving on.
No, I want to know what Jessiie wanted to teach.
Oh yeah,
English.
English.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you were saying Foxy as a suggestion for English.
Oh no. Yeah, I wanted to teach English. I've always loved reading, and I had a 4th grade teacher who changed my life, and she taught me how to read and stuff. And just ever since then, I was like, you know what? That's what I want to do. And then my grandma was like, don't do it. Not worth it. Awful.
Get lots of holidays,
like, okay.
Though. Not good pay, but many, many holidays.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Moving on from that. Auntie Dizzy says, as there's a temporary build challenge server for Foxy's patrons, I wondered, would Truly Bedrock members consider having a separate area on the next season so you can all create a city, town, etc. over the season, in addition to your normal bases and shopping districts? Maybe fans and patrons could come up with the ideas for the story as it gets developed, and you all have to vote and pick one every so often. Which we
try that every year, and it just doesn't work.
Well,
I don't think we tried it in a structured way like that with
we
involving
haven't tried
people.
that.
Chaos Hill. The only area it really worked was the Christmas area.
Oh, that was wonderful. I
that was
loved
great.
the Christmas area. Yeah.
But like everywhere else, we tried it with the resort next at Foxy's and area, and it just never worked. It never came together.
But we've none of there's reasons why it would.
Chunktown.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Chunktown. Sorry, Chunktown was wonderful. I left
Chunktown because Chunktown wasn't what we originally said it was going to be.
Yeah, but no one else did.
Well, you complained it lagged too much.
Well, it did lag way too much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
the people building their giant farms.
Besides that one
there.
problem.
The one thing about Truly Bedrock, at least it was during that particular period, it's not so much now, but it's a lot of the members like to do their own thing and come up with their own thing to do. And it's as much as we're a team and we can do stuff together, we generally don't. And I think trying to force everybody into coming together to do a massive project is going to be difficult. But I do really like the idea that we've got an area that is specifically for getting outside input on that steers it. But I think that would have to come down to the individual person. So let's say I'm going to go over to an area and start working on something. I invite everyone else to come and, work on this city together. And then in my live streams or on Discord, I'll be like, hey guys, have you got like ideas for what I can do in this city, and take it from that way? Because if we all went together, hey, my patron said this, well, my one said that one, and my one said this one, it would soon turn into I don't want to do this. It's too stressful and complicated. So I think it would work if you did it on an individual level. But it's more of the issue, like Slack said, is just getting everybody together in the same area to do something. Although we have proven that we can,
literally,
to an extent, as long as it's something chaotic like Chunktown or Chaos Hill or the shopping areas. When we're allowed to do what we want to do individually in an area that's together, it works great.
The shopping areas.
So
I miss the shopping areas. Season 1 shopping area is my favorite.
Yeah, I hope we have one of those next season when we reset next month for 1.19 that we haven't.
You don't
told
like
anyone.
them at bases?
No, I don't.
Oh, I love it.
No, I don't, because I don't know where nothing is. So I don't use nobody's shops.
That makes sense. I, as somebody who likes things to be structured and somebody who very much likes things to be themed, and I like things that are aesthetically pleasing. Shopping areas and shopping districts and stuff like that just absolutely do my head in. Like I cannot stand them. I don't think there has ever been one I have liked.
Oh, come on. Season 1 was amazing.
I personally do like having a shopping area. I like the fact that it's messy. This is one of the reasons I built my thing on Chaos Hill, is because I didn't want to do a shop at my base. I don't want to do one in the Nether. I want to put it somewhere where everyone's going to find it. I don't want to keep like picking out Mr. Beardstone, but I keep accidentally ending up in his shopping area, and it's fantastic. It really does feel like you've gone to some like little village and there's all these different shops. It's laggy as heck. You can, barely get any frames in it, but it's gorgeous. And I think that's a really good selling point for having shops at bases. But if he built that in an area where everyone was building shops together, I think it'd be fantastic. So, yeah. Yeah, that would be my go-to, just having that it all back to normal again in one area for me, I think.
Zeta says, how has the new shulker farming impacted your time on TB? Excited for the low shulker prices? I'm indifferent. I am somebody who likes the Nether. I've said this before. I'm a fan. I like to just go in city raiding. I like to just fly and have fun. So to me, having shulkers absolutely be ridiculously low priced is whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just cost me a few stacks of diamonds already, but I love it. I don't have to go end raiding. Yeah, I went from having maybe like 10 shulker boxes to having 10 stacks.
Yeah.
I see. I really don't like it. I like having lots of shulker boxes, but I also like their rarity. It makes it makes it feel valuable to use them. And having just a few left in my ender chest, and I better not craft those up. I need to keep some in reserve. So how am I going to deal with this storage situation? That for me is a real engaging part of the game. So the fact that I can just go and buy like a whole bunch of them for a diamond. Well, not even a diamond each. What's Groover selling them for like 4 for a diamond? It's
Four
just,
for a diamond.
Yeah.
it's just crazy. And I don't like it. I have to admit that it's one of the few changes that they've made where it should be something to get excited about because it's more stuff and easier to get. But they were like a precious item to me, and it just feels like going into creative mode personally. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
so
See, I don't feel that at all. I don't mind. I thought I would hate it.
yeah, me and you were switched on this because this was your opinion a few weeks ago, and I
a
was
few
saying
weeks
the
ago
opposite.
I was opposed of it, and now I'm just like, yeah, I love it, best thing ever.
Yeah.
My new
So
favorite feature.
yeah, now it's in the game. We're actually dealing with it. My shulker boxes don't feel important anymore. It just feels like
They're
boxes
just a
taking up
portable
space.
chest.
Pardon?
They're just portable chests.
Yeah.
But they were important portable chests before, and now they're not. They're not valuable anymore.
And they were
They had
it
the
was
same value
so
they always had.
fun.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
it's
one of
just
my
a
favorite
mindset
things
thing.
to do early. Yeah.
So yeah, and it was it was a valid measure of how rich I was. I got a lot of shulker boxes.
Yeah.
And now
Because
it's
you can
like,
just go to the end and get as many as you want. No, bad Foxy.
Right. Anyway, that is unfortunately the end of today's questions. If you would like to leave us a question, then you can do by emailing us at news@theminecraftupdate.com, or you can leave a question on our feedback form. The link to that will be in the description below, which means sadly it's time to move on to the end of the podcast where we tell you what we're going to be doing this week and then probably not sticking to it. Jessie.
This week, I will have a video out on Monday, and I will be streaming Monday and most likely Wednesday and maybe even Friday.
Don't forget your streaming tomorrow when the podcast comes out on Saturday.
Oh, also, I am streaming on Saturday with these two and with Jen, and it's going to be chaos, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yay for chaos. Let's hope mine or Jessie's PC don't just randomly shut down halfway through.
Just randomly die.
I mean,
Slack.
it could handle like 200 creepers getting summoned at once, right?
Yeah, that'd be good. It's fine.
Okay. For me, drawn back a little bit on the content. Knocked it down to 1 episode a week on YouTube, which is just going to be on Fridays. Right now, I'm focused on TB for that. Streams, they're just going out the window. I can't do schedules with that. Look, you're lucky I go live. Okay, good talk. And of course, the only time I can guarantee that we're going to be live is this Saturday for the Chaos stream.
Yeah.
So if you're not there, clear your calendar, check our Discords. You should definitely come hang out with us. Just saying.
I was really hoping to have at least one Bedrock Edition update video out a week, but I've been very much let down with how little information there is to actually bother making a video out from, and the fact that there haven't even been any for a couple of weeks. TB, I keep meaning to make videos on TB, but I really want to get this website thing done before 1.19 comes out, because I want to drop it at 1.19 with all of the new stuff that's going on with that. So I got a lot of work ahead of me with that, so I would imagine videos are going to be pretty much maybe for this next week. Last week I did a whole bunch of streaming, and this week I'm hoping to pick those up again next week. But again, if I've got a lot of website work to do, they'll be a little bit sporadic, but it will all come back very, very soon, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I will also be there on Saturday, which unfortunately means it's the end of today's podcast. Oh, geez, guys. Been a fun one.
It's been long.
We've talked about
Not
Jessie's
yet. I mean,
spiky
we can get
bush.
better. Yeah.
We've argued about redstone and the fact that Jessiie
Jessie's
B
a cheater.
cheats her way through.
Jessie dupes. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
And Slack, for once, hasn't just spent the entire podcast moaning about how ill he is. So that's, no. I'm only kidding, Slack. Jeez.
Wow.
No, I've really enjoyed today's podcast. It's been a pleasure. So thank you both very much for being part of it. It's great to have you both here. And hopefully I'll see you both next week at the same
Next
time, unless one of us forgets or
Let's see, rock,
changes it.
paper, scissors. Let's see who's going to miss next week. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Go.
Didn't see that one coming.
Ow.
I win. I win. I used fireball. It destroys all.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm definitely not the one editing. It's on Jessie because she was the one that made us late today.
Yeah.
Bye.
Jessie B editing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.